8 games into the season, and the Indiana Fever just locked themselves in a room for 2 hours. Not to watch film, not to prep for their next opponent, to figure out who they even are anymore. Sophie Cunningham revealed that players and coaches held a lengthy unscheduled meeting that lasted close to 2 hours, trying to reset after back-to-back losses, and a viral sideline incident between Caitlin Clark and head coach Stephanie White. The Fever made the unusual decision not to even watch film from the Portland loss. That tells you how bad it is, because normally she is watching every second of it, Cunningham said. And while all of that was happening behind closed doors in Indianapolis, 600 miles south, the Atlanta Dream were sharpening every blade they had. Because Thursday night at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, these two teams collide on national television. And Atlanta hasn't forgotten a single thing. Rewind to September. The Dream finished the 2025 regular season with 30 wins, a franchise record, a .682 winning percentage, helping establish the Dream as one of the league's most dynamic and efficient teams. They were the 3 seed, a real contender. They took Game 1 of that first-round playoff series against Indiana. Then it slipped. The Fever, a 6 seed, stole Game 2, walked into Atlanta for the decider, and ripped it away 87-85 after the Dream had led by 7 at halftime. And here's the part that still burns. Indiana did it without Caitlin Clark, who'd been ruled out for the rest of the season. White helped the Fever get within 1 win of the WNBA Finals despite a series of debilitating injuries, including the loss of Clark. A 30-win powerhouse, bounced by a hobbled 6 seed missing its biggest star. Jordin Canada walked off the floor that night and promised they'd be back. 8 months later, here's the back. But what's coming next might surprise everyone. Because this isn't the same Atlanta team. They got meaner. The organization reassigned its core group and acquired 2-time WNBA All-Star Angel Reese. The roster is anchored by the return of Allisha Gray, Brianna Jones, Jordin Canada, Naz Hillman, and Rhyne Howard. Reese brings elite rebounding and relentless physicality to a frontcourt that was already suffocating. She's already commanding the glass, securing her 54th career double-double with 12 points and 13 rebounds in a recent outing. Howard just dropped a career-defining 36 points against Connecticut, making 8 three-pointers on 19 attempts, shooting 12 of 24 from the field. Allisha Gray chipped in 26 points on a sharp 9 of 17 shooting run in the same game. And Smesco's defense. Atlanta currently ranks first in defensive rating at 97.3. This isn't just a playoff revenge tour. It's a machine. And what it's about to face in Indiana, that's a completely different story. The Fever sit at 4-4, a half game outside the 8th and final playoff spot heading into Thursday's game against the Atlanta Dream. 2 straight losses, a 2-point heartbreaker at Golden State, then a 184 loss to the Portland Fire, a team the Fever had beaten by 17 points just 10 days earlier. And then the meeting leaked. Hearing the press bring it up surprised Indiana star Kelsey Mitchell. When your veterans are blindsided that the world knows about your emergency sit-down, and that sit-down ran 2 hours 8 games into the year, the house isn't catching fire next week. It's smoking right now. Cunningham admitted something nobody wanted said out loud. "I think something that's hurting us right now is we're only playing 1 defensive scheme," she said. "We had probably 10 last year. 1. Against 10 a year ago." Indiana leads the WNBA in scoring at 91.8 points per game, but gives up 89, the second highest total in the league. The offense is humming. The breakdown is entirely on the other end. And Thursday they welcome the team with the best defensive rating in the entire WNBA. A team down to a single defensive look hosting a defensive machine on national television. That's not a matchup, that's a stress test. And it gets worse. Because this whole week hasn't been about basketball for Indiana. It's been about damage control. In the second quarter of Saturday's game, Clark and White were caught having a heated exchange on the sideline during a timeout. A video captured by a fan went viral. White was quite animated, pointed right at Clark multiple times, and slapped her knee in apparent frustration. At first, Clark did not respond as she calmly drank water on the bench. Eventually, though, Clark did have an animated response of her own, holding her hands up while talking back to White. White immediately benched Clark, putting rookie Raven Johnson in the game in her place. Things escalated when commentator Skip Bayless claimed that the Fever fired White, a claim that was quickly debunked, but the internet had already run with it. Clark also controversially walked out with Morgan Wallen at his concert in Indiana just hours after a Fever loss, adding gasoline to an already raging fire. And a beat reporter, the Fever revoked media credentials from longtime reporter Scott Agnes due to the spread of inaccurate and unsubstantiated information. This isn't a team preparing for a playoff-level opponent. This is a team trying to survive its own news cycle. And walking right into the middle of all of it is Caitlin Clark. She's trapped, and she knows it. In her most recent outing against Portland, Clark put up a mere 6 points on 1 for 7 from the field and 5 personal fouls. Clark herself acknowledged she has been a target defensively, having defended more isolation possessions over the last 4 games than any other player over a comparable stretch in the past 3 seasons. Teams aren't just going at Indiana's defense. They're going at her specifically, over and over again. Now Rhyne Howard walks in, a 3-time All-Star averaging 19.3 points this season, who has produced on both ends of the floor, earning all defensive second-team honors last season. Howard has never shied away from Clark. She's bodied her, fouled her, climbed right into her space. Thursday she gets to do it again with Smeszko's entire scheme behind her. If Indiana can't organize help around Clark, she wears the whole night alone. Win, and she papers over how fractured the room behind her really is. Lose, and she does it on national television against the best the East has. There's no clean exit from that bind. The veterans aren't pretending either. Kelsey Mitchell said, "If you think everything is glitz and glamour, then you're mistaken. I think hard times can make you or break you, and hopefully it doesn't break us." Read that again. A leader on a title-hopeful roster openly wondering whether the thing breaks them. In June, Cunningham told reporters the meeting was about what everyone's kind of feeling, where we need to be, what our identity is. Identity, 8 games in. A team that went to the conference finals last year is sitting in a room asking itself what it even is. And Atlanta is the team that gets to answer it first. So strip away the noise, the meeting, the leaked quotes, the sideline clips, the concert photos, the revoked credentials. Thursday narrows to one clean question. Can a team still arguing about who it is beat the best the East has on national television? One team walks in with a single job, win a basketball game. The other has to win and hold a fracturing locker room together in front of the cameras at the same time. One of those jobs is a great deal heavier than the other. Atlanta's roster reflects the organization's commitment to building a championship contender under second-year head coach Carl Smeszko. He didn't rebuild after September. He reloaded, re-signed the core, added Reese, brought in an international MVP, told anyone who'd listen he wanted to run it back. You don't pay to keep a group together after a first-round exit unless that exit is the exact thing keeping you up at night. Rhyne Howard circled this one a long time ago. Jordin Canada promised they'd be back. Allisha Gray is scoring like an MVP all over again, and Angel Reese is grabbing every board in sight. The only question left is whether a team this torn can stand up to a team that spent 8 months sharpening for exactly this night, or whether Atlanta finally gets the answer it's been waiting on since September.
Before going further, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. It really helps us keep bringing you the content you love. Share this video with your friends so they don't miss out on all the drama and excitement.